Damn, I love that song. What's up? How's the stash? And now it's that time again for the best damn opening in Facebook Live history. Let's go! Assaltante Oso, that bear you all know. Out of hibernation to entertain Raider Nation. Woo! Broke out the Old English tonight. It goes with the mustache. Didn't imitated, but duplicated. Nah, that fool with no head, that shouts like Ric Flair. Woo! Woo! The Raider Bear! Want to see it again? No. A Raiders! A little bit softer now, 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 a little bit louder 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 now. I'm Raiders! What? Shut up. My son's home from Los Angeles visiting. I'm in a good freaking mood. I had a hell of a good day today. I talked to my mama. I made some money. I made my wife happy. One hell of a birthday yesterday. But I had a surprise birthday card arrive for her today that was the best birthday card in the history of mankind. Oh, it's true, because it came out of my face. What's up, fam? Welcome to the show. Your host, Raider Bear family page. But first, Raider Bear Live's first comment, MVP tonight goes to that Moji making two-time champion son of a gun, Mark Vargas. B. Sup, brother? Welcome to the show. As usual, defending your title. Well done. Because there is someone that is on the down low, real sneaky. He's trying to up his rep around here a little bit. And I'm talking, of course, about S.A. Big Dog. What's up, D? Welcome to the show. Always there for Raider Bear. Appreciate you. S.A. Mr. Osito. I love that. Welcome to the show, bro. Third place. My bronze medal goes to Ramiro. When I start rolling the R, you know it's coming. My third place. Cash flow. Trademark pending. Castro. What's up, my brother? Welcome to the show. Always there for Raider Bear. Me and Ramiro go way back. That's my guy right there. You see his, hey, he married well. Okay, just saying, the man's got good taste. Finally, we have a rivalry. Facebook, #1, the champ, Numero uno, El Jefe tonight goes to LP Lucky Pace. Lucky, what are you doing up here? You know whose seat this is? Right now, he's looking at you funny, like, what are you doing in my chair? Carlos! Boy, kid! Now I'm cutting it off a little bit short tonight. See, the silver medal, you don't get quite as long a boy. No. I got to bring it down just a hair for that silver medal. Don't be mad at me. Be mad at LP. Made that rhyme. Third place, my bronze medal goes to the G-Man, Troy Gill. Troy, what are you doing up here? You never win medals. What are you doing up here? What's up, Troy? Welcome to the show. Always there for Raider Bear. Appreciate you, brother. Welcome to the show. Honorable mention to Corinna Trujillo. Oh, wait a minute. There it is. Corinna, much love, girl. And Corinna always reminds me to remind all of you two things. If you care, you share a Raider Bear. And consider a subscription to Raider Bear family page. Now, if you look, you can subscribe on Facebook, but you can also do subtle subscription with me on Patreon. I am on Patreon now. And if you would, I would greatly appreciate a subscription. It helps me and our page quite a bit. And YouTube, you YouTubers, I'm barely talking to you YouTubers, okay? I'm serious. Just hit subscribe and like. You know I'm good. What are you waiting for? Oh, hey, you want to show me the card? You can show me your card if you want to. It was that awesome. I actually announced it.
I'll let you. I was going to tell you real quick.
Go.
A reminder to mention Raider Speedy is doing a raffle.
And
Raider.
Mama Bear and my good friend Raider Speedy is doing a raffle right now for TNBC crew and their president, Oh So Raider. And I have that up on my wall on Raider Bear family page. So go check that out. It's for a great cause. And from what I understand, some of the prizes you can win are pretty awesome.
And if they have questions, they can ask Raider Speedy.
And if you have questions, look for Raider Speedy. Steven Shaw twice. My guy right there. What? And Mrs. Shaw one time. Alex Gonzalez, what's up, G? Welcome to the show, Raiders. Pete Vasquez said, finally looking like a healthier Raider team. Yeah, you know, Pete, I like what we're doing. We're going to talk about a couple of things like that. We're going to talk about the roster. They gave us the final look at the roster. We're going to look at that. We are going to look at that. What was the other thing? Oh, God, there's so much good. The cornerback position on defense, what we're doing at defensive end, the offensive line. We have a lot to discuss tonight. Crazy Squirrel in the house. What's up, Will? Welcome to the show. Appreciate the love on the lid. JP, what's up, man? Welcome to the show. Always there for a Raider Bear. Mark Vargas' family is doing great. I appreciate you asking. And Stephen Shaw, always there for a Raider Bear. Appreciate the love, brother. Shane Street, that's my guy right there. What's up, Shane? Welcome to the show. My lovely but sometimes smart-ass wife wants me to ask if she makes your medal round with the word Steelers, will you read it? Okay, first, Tim, I love your wife. Not that kind of love, but I love your wife. And yes, if she wins, she gets shouted out just like everybody else. I'd love to shout, Peggy Newport. I don't care. Her only flaw is her choice in professional football team. That's it. Outside of that, I think she's amazing. Turu Tune. What's up, man? Welcome to the show. Acapulco, Mexico. Appreciate the love, brother. I know you got good weather right now. Alex Gonzalez says, fuzz the queefs. Raider! You know the D is growing in the Chiefs, and you know it ain't that D. I'm talking about the distraction. is growing in the Chiefs because now he's marrying that skinny twig. Sorry, I wasn't a Taylor Swift fan before all of that. Believe that. I'm not into bubblegum music. Huh? Wait, okay, check this out. Check this out, you guys. Look at this. Wait, let me do it fancy. Okay, here we go. Check this out, you guys. Let me get some mic too so you guys can hear that. Sounds like fireworks, right? And then see the candle above the cake? What is it you do when everyone's singing you happy birthday, right? Happy birthday, right? And then you're supposed to blow out your candle, right? Look at the candle. Look.
You gotta blow it.
All right. You blow on it and they start applauding you and you get more fireworks again.
Card of the year.
Come on. I'm going to get lucky
That
tonight.
even beat the card from Ice-T.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to get lucky later. Appreciate you, love. Isn't that the cutest thing?
Awesome.
Love this.
I love you. Oscar DeLeon, what's up, man? Welcome to the show. I thought I got invited too. What the hell? Nice card. My birthday's coming up on the 8th. I need that. Right on, Sean. Mama Bear, Shane Street, Denton Rhodes, Julie Rivera, Cuba, Joe Holman. Who else here? Corinna, I'm sure, all said hello. Uh-oh, you missed me saying, hey, I was a hair late on the trigger tonight. I got a race coming up with some young puppy and was fine-tuning. What's up, Big Joe? Welcome to the show. My special bodyguard there. Always there for R8RBEAR Bear. I never miss you, man. Hi, Julie. Welcome to the show. Appreciate you tuning in. Oh, I love your avatar. All right, so let's get to it, guys. So the Raiders signed quarterback Jeff Driscoll. Now, guys, before you wonder why that happened, you have to remember AOC is going to be out for quite a while. We don't know when we're going to get him back. And even when we do, we don't even know that we're going to still have him on the roster. He's probably going to be trade bait at that point. He had a bad preseason. We all saw it. Okay. It's nothing against him personal. Once a Raider, always a Raider. He's always had a great respectful attitude toward the Raiders, but he's probably done. Because how many teams really realistically carry 4 quarterbacks? Geno Smith. Okay. Then after that, you wonder, AOC, will he be back? Does he keep his spot? Then you got Cam Miller, and now you got this kid Driscoll. So you're not going to carry 4 quarterbacks. I don't think they're going to really get rid of Cam Miller. The release of Cam Miller was more of a get him through the waiver wire and bring him right back on, which we did. And last but not least, the only guy to me that looks viable as both a trade and a guy that you can lose as an expendable asset is AOC. Because you have your starter now. Driscoll can step in at the 2. You keep Cam Miller at the 3 to learn, and your roster's set at QB. So I think the days with AOC may be numbered. And then after that, there were some power rankings we could discuss a little bit here. Let me take a look and just make sure I'm not getting asked any questions or anything here. My daughter's birthday is the 22nd of September, Bear. Wait a minute, is everyone expecting me to send their kid that card? Okay, one, that was not a normal card, okay? It was expensive, not like Elon Musk, but it wasn't cheap for a card. But you can order it on Amazon, just FYI. And they had others. They had other ones just like it, where they did little tricks and it would pop off fireworks and all stuff, and then it would have other things you could do. I forget exactly what it was, but mine was blow out the candles. I think another one was like a tab you had to pull, and when you pulled it, it made another tab on the other side come out, and it looked like confetti going in the air. But you can do it over and over again. You can like replay it. It's pretty cool. But a lot of those cards in the past, they were like a one-off where you did it once and that was it. And I didn't even know if this one wasn't that, but it ended up being worth every penny. It's pretty cool. She'll be 35, right? That's amazing, brother. Mine's 33, my oldest. My son. Okay, so power rankings. Now, the power rankings, I don't really trip off that much, except that I was, I don't want to say surprised, but the NFL.com had us ranked 25th, but our previous ranking last year was 24th. So they have us slipping one position with remastering the roster and bringing in Pete Carroll, a proven team rebuilder. You get a high draft pick at running back. You get another wide receiver that looks like at rookie wide receiver that looks like in Thornton that he's going to be a stud. And you have us drop off one. I thought that was odd. CBS Sports had us ranked 28th in the league, both last year and this year. I also thought that was odd. I mean, you don't see our position change at all, up or down, from what we were last year. Even if you have us going backward, you could explain that, or maybe a little better, explain that. But I mean, to me, if CBS should have said our current ranking is like 27th, 26th, and our previous was 28th. To me, we're just flat out better. Pete Carroll alone, just adding Pete Carroll, he's a better coach than any we've had in quite a while. So I didn't understand that. And then the Athletic showed us a lot of respect. They wrote 18th overall, with last year being 19th. So see, they to me saw it the best. If you saw us as one thing last year, you should see us as better this year. How much? Just a little, 1, maybe 2 points, because we haven't even thrown a football yet for this season. So you can't get too carried away. But just the rebuild alone looks better than what we were last year. I just think that's true. Now, here's the analysis from The Athletic, who, again, gave us a current ranking of 18. They said they're tired of being the oldest guy on the team. Pete Carroll signed wide receiver Amari Cooper, a joke, basically, bringing Cooper back to where he started his NFL career in 2015. Let's see. Still, the Raiders are thin at wide receiver, and Jacoby Myers has requested a trade. Geno Smith might just have to be happy with Brock Bowers and Ashton Genty, and why wouldn't he be? Now, I don't really have a big deal with that. I feel like with Jacoby Myers at the 1, you can just use him sparingly, use a lot more of Amari Cooper, mix and match them, and then just focus on the number 2 position in Thornton and the number 3 wide receiver slot that Trey Tucker ended up winning over Jack Besh, which surprised me. But that's how it went down. USA Today newspaper had us ranked 26th last year. Now they have us ranked 27th. So we went back a step with them. Again, makes no sense to me. Yahoo Sports had us previously 26th. They have us upgraded to 24th, and they make a point of saying that Ashton Genty and some of the defensive ads and Pete Carroll are the reason why they had us 2 positions better than they had us last year. Bleacher Report has us 22nd. I take a lot from Bleacher Report. I think they're smart. I think they know what they're talking about. Listen to this real quick. Analysis: the offensive coordinator, Chip Kelly, quarterback Geno Smith, all-pro and tight end Brock Bowers, and rookie running back Ashton Genty. They're capable of scoring in bunches. But on the flip side, head coach Pete Carroll is relying heavily on an inexperienced youth in the secondary. Eric Stokes is going to be their lead corner, and the team doesn't have a clear-cut number 2 on the opposite side. Now, first and foremost, I just want to say I understand all of that. I understand everything they said. But the approach of Pete Carroll to take young guys, he's always made them better. When he got to Seattle, he made Richard Sherman and that defense come together. Then after they left, he still found other corners and safeties that played well and kept it together while Geno was there winning games. So even if we do struggle this year with the cornerback position, I don't care, because not every team goes into the season with every position, addressed. But with all the positions we had to address, we addressed quarterback, we addressed running back, we addressed the offensive line, we addressed linebacker for the most part. I'm kind of happy with where we are with that right now. I really am. Mainly because of this. With Landon Roberts and Devin White, okay, Jermaine Pratt, I like the linebackers there. That's a lot of experience. Then you brought in Brennan Jackson, who can put his hand in the ground. He is also, though, an offside linebacker. Okay. Now, Brennan Jackson, who we brought in, I believe it was the Rams, can put his hand in the ground, though, and rush the passer, which we're going to actually see some from Jamal Adams and Tommy Eichenberg. And then, of course, Cody Lindbergh is kind of your backup third string linebacker, but he showed in the preseason he can get side to side. He's got good speed. He's a smaller linebacker, but he makes up for that with how he tackles and technique. And so I like the moves we made there. I'm happy with that situation. Now, as far as opposite of Eric Stokes, it's probably going to start either with Caillou Blue or DeCamarion Richardson. Although I think DeCamarion may be backing up Eric Stokes. So it's probably going to be Eric Stokes and Caillou Blue. Caillou Blue Kelly. I like how Caillou Blue played in the preseason. I know they made some mistakes. I know the Niners, walked us around a little bit in the preseason. Guys, we overreacted to that big time. Not me. I mean, I was talking to you about it. But there was an overreaction by Raider Nation in a big way to the Niner game and not being able to stop the pass. We're going to play the pass. We're going to play it different. We're going to play it better. It's just a matter of getting the right guys in there. And I think Caillou Blue won that job clearly. DeCamarion Richardson was nice, but I think that Blue was a little better. I think his instincts and his pickup were a little better. And so his route recognition, I think, was a little bit better. But DeCamarion's going to be fighting for that job with him all season because they're not going to sit on any cornerback for a large amount of snaps other than Eric Stokes. I got so many pop-ups coming up right now. Okay, so before I give my prediction will be the worst case, do you think we'll go at least 3-3 inside our division? I do think we can do that, Joe. It's not something that I would predict, but at the same time, I do think we can do that. I think that we're going to get the Chiefs. I really do. I feel like our personnel, the way we play them, I think we're starting to figure out Andy Reid and how he calls a game. I think that just has a lot to do with it. And I think we will be able to get through their offensive line. The Chiefs running game isn't quite as good as we faced in the past. So if we make them one-dimensional throwing the ball, I feel like we have a very good chance of beating them. Now, it's the Broncos and the Chargers that we have to, at minimum, split with. I would like to see us double up on the Chargers. They should not beat us. Now, it's not because they're not good. I just don't think they're better than we are. So we should get the Chargers twice. I do feel like they lost a lot of pieces in their defense. We should get them twice. I feel like we'll be able to run the ball on them. We should get them twice. The Broncos, that's another story. Now, I don't think the Broncos are better than us, but their defense is solid. And Bo Nix, their quarterback from last season, he doesn't try to be more than what he is. He's Alex Smith. He's going to manage the team down the field, throw right, throw left, throw right, hand it off, draw, run for 4 yards and slide. He's one of those guys. We're gonna have a war with the Broncos. It's gonna be a back and forth battle with the Broncos. But if we could somehow get either the Chargers or the Broncos twice, we'd be in good shape. I really like AOC, and hopefully he'll be able to stay a Raider. Corinna, I think what I'm getting at is Corinna, it's the every once in a while, a player is a victim of the business. AOC is a victim of this business. They have 3 able-bodied quarterbacks now. They're not going to want to wait to see what he's got when he comes back because they already feel like they've seen it. And when he comes back and he's on the roster as the 4th quarterback, they're just going to move him, or one of them is going to get released. If they don't trade him, they'll probably release Driscoll. And if they keep Driscoll and him on the roster for even 1 week, that tells me they're going to let go of AOC. It's just a matter of finding the right buyer. Sean Scott said the Raiders are going to be a surprise to some of these teams. Well, see, to me, Pete Carroll alone brings you 3 wins. I'm serious. Adjustments he makes, things he sees, defensive calls that he's going to work out. I think that's a bigger reason why he wanted Patrick Graham, our defensive coordinator, to come out of the box and come down to the floor level so that they can really organically during the game say, hey, I see this. Do you see this? What should we do this? Now, it's easy to say, oh, they have headsets for that. He could have been talking to Graham up in the box. One, it's not the same. It really isn't. There's things that don't translate the same when you're talking to a guy up in a box, as opposed to him being right off your shoulder, telling him, hey, look, when they're in this, we got to be looking at this because of this. It's just better communication. And then more importantly, you have to remember, Pete Carroll's not a young guy. He comes from the era where he looks to his left and his defensive coordinator is there, and he can just whistle at him and say, hey, man, we got to do something about this, this, and this. Look at this offensive setup they're in. They're going double tight end sets. We got one linebacker shadowing one. We got to get something. You know what I mean? They've got to be able to work that out on the field. I think this is going to be a great help to us. You know what, Alex Gonzalez, I love that profile picture, brother. Looking good. I would say this to you. I think Amari Cooper is going to come back to us and quietly have a redemption story. No more, there's no longer guys in the league like Pac-Man who are going to grab his helmet and shake his head into the grass. You know what I mean? He's going to be allowed to just play football. And Amari Cooper hasn't been in a softer league than this ever in his life, and it's what he's always needed. He hates when guys bump and run him. He hates when guys grab his jersey. He wants guys to give him a free opportunity to get into his wiggle, which Amari Cooper is one of the best that's ever lived, not just the best in the league right now. He has one of the best 1-2 get-offs and make guys like go stumbling backwards because they don't know if he's really going right or left. He is one of the best to ever do it. And it's a shame it gets shadowed by his softness that Raider Nation hates him for, especially from the past and things he did in the past. And now he's got a chance to redo that. And I really do. I think he will. I really do. I mean, when are you better than you are right now? Think about that. 7-8 years ago, you were probably pretty good at something you did. But whatever that thing was, with experience and age now, you're probably better. I just have a feeling like Amari Cooper's going to come into this situation even better than he did last time. Edgar Lucky DeLeo and Vicky. Yeah. Appreciate the love on the stars. Mwah. Daryl Neal, what's up, man? Welcome to the show. Bless you right back, brother. So, Mr. Bear, Marlo wants to wish his wife an extremely happy birthday. Well, I hope he's successful at that. I've never met his wife. You smart ass. Steven and Mrs. I'm giving up on my bell already. Let's see. Do you think Jabril Peppers can help? Where'd that go? Do you think Jabril Peppers can help the secondary? Edgar, Jeremy Chin wants to be a free safety. He wants to get down and move around, see mismatches where he can be a ball hawk, come under a passing route and get an interception. Polamau wants to play that way. Jabril Peppers is more like what Jamal Adams used to be for the Legion of Doom, a center fielder, that strong safety that can back up, see what's going on, help the secondary as far as if a defensive back gets beaten and someone's got him over the top, he comes over to help. He can, play the ball in the air, not get flags and drill guys. So I'd like to see Jabril Peppers get a chance with us, especially when you consider he can even return punts. You know what I mean? He's a pretty athletic guy. So, and now with where he's at, older than he's ever been, on the verge of leaving the league, team disrespecting him. What franchise is the franchise that brings that guy in? That would be us. So, oh my goodness, wait a minute. How many do I have here? Corinna, my goodness. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh my goodness. Corinna! True! God love you, girl. Hey, I hope you're feeling a lot better. You seem to be. Solomona Milo, what's up? All the way from New Zealand. What's up? Welcome to the show. Bear, can we win the first 2 games? I'm worried about our corners. We can win the first 2 games. I'm not really too concerned about the Patriots. I got to be honest with you. The Patriots are in even more of a rebuild to see what we are than we are, so. No, Vicky, no. There is no jealousy here, okay? There's none of that. I just want to take Marlo over my knee and spank him as hard as I can. That's not jealousy. Little handsome little shit. Excuse my French, everyone. You have to forgive me if you don't know about the Marlo story. He is Vicky Ginn's handsome young man. And he came to my home one day with Vicky to, meet me and Mama Bear. And then it turned out he was only there to meet Mama Bear. Little monkey. Oh, I just want to beat him. Vicky! Yeah! Appreciate the love, girl. Peppers got arrested for domestic violence. Not sure we'll even call him. Tanamoku, I do know they're talking. How do I say this? Because it sounds bad. The foundation that Bolitnikov, our Hall of Fame former tight end wide receiver, Bolitnikov, started a fund for beaten and survivors, women who are survivors of men who beat and kill and so on. And it was a beautiful thing. And Mark Davis did a ceremony to launch his program and gave him a big check. Literally one of those gigantic checks that you give people. And he told them, I'm going to give this to you to, get your foundation started. Ever since that happened, anyone, and I mean anyone in the NFL that has questionable character as far as hitting a woman or violence in general, we don't pick them up. And I don't know, though, if that prevailing attitude is going to continue. You know what I mean? I don't know if that's going to continue. I hope it does, because it's justifiably the right thing to do, but we'll see. Okay, worst case, without injuries, 3 wins inside our division. The NFC East is tough. I know we'll beat the Giants, maybe the Cowboys, since Parsons is gone, but I'll concede losses to the Eagles and Washington. Okay, no, I would not concede a loss to Washington. I can feel you on the Eagles. We have to show the Eagles respect. They're a Super Bowl champion. The Giants are going to be bad, and the Cowboys are going to be bad. People don't understand how much this Parsons thing is going to reverb through their locker room. There is not a Cowboy on that roster right now that's not pissed off. Not one. Offense, defense, special teams, coaching staff. They're all pissed off that Parsons is not a Cowboy anymore. So I promise you, this isn't the Giants' house is on fire. I said it the other day. I'm waiting for the Lifetime documentary of the death of the Dallas Cowboys, because to me, this is it. This is it. Remember, we lost Khalil Mack, but we lost Khalil Mack because we had a new coach coming in. He had to have the opportunity to rebuild what was a losing franchise. So there was no way you can go to one of your players and give them $90 million and then ask the coach to rebuild things. You just can't. And so it made sense when we did it. Do you see what I'm saying? This with Dallas makes 0 sense. 0. Micah Parsons is on a Hall of Fame career as we speak. Every season, minimum 10 sacks. You can't just replace production like that. Your boss is a Cheaters fan. You're killing me. Okay, I didn't finish your comment. I'm sorry, Joe. So that 1 and 2 wins against the AFC South, I can see a loss to the Texans. I'll say someone else might get lucky. So that's 2 wins. I see wins against the Patriots, the Browns, the Bears. For 3 more, so worst case, I see 9, maybe 10 wins. Okay, see now, I also see 9 or 10 wins. I agree with you on that. The reason why I think it can go to 11 or 12 will be specifically calls that Pete Carroll makes that will change games. I'm telling you. Just remember I said that. We will see it. I'll bring it up. We'll come back to it. But I guarantee you, week 5, week 7, there's going to be a call. There's going to be an adjustment. There's going to be something Pete Carroll puts in there. And it's going to win the game for us. I'm telling you. Jesse, I'm sending you the shirts off tomorrow. Sorry again about the one shirt. Jesse, no, never apologize, bro. You've been taking care of me. How long now? You know what I mean? Stop. You never owe me any apology. Well, Vicky, you can tell him I love him too. I hope he's watching. Marlo, I love you, little guy. And please remember that whenever I say anything bad about you, we're only having fun and telling jokes. Okay? Thank you, Bear. I'm feeling better. The one thing that sucks is that I have to wear this infection vacuum. Oh, man. I'm sorry, Corinna. I'm sure that'll be coming off soon, though. Miguel and Victoria, what's up, brother? Welcome to the show. Look at that beautiful couple. I really liked Thornton. Was happy he won the starting job, but with Cooper back, does he lose that starting job? The kid is a beast. No. In fact, Miguel, Cooper is technically behind Jacoby Meyer. So it's not Thornton that's going to come out of the game. It's going to be Jacoby Meyer. And they're going to bring in Cooper to run routes. And it isn't Thornton that's coming off the field. Thornton right now is the best deep threat and speed combination we have, a lot more so than Jacoby Meyer. Jacoby Meyer has always been a possession receiver, and he's a very good one. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that as a negative at all, that he's not a deep route runner. He's not. It's not that he can't do it. It's just not his skill set. You know what I mean? It's not his best skill set. He's more of a possession receiver. Give you the toe tap, take a guy right, come back left, catch a ball for a 7-yard gain, and then try to do something with it after the catch. He's kind of that kind of guy. You know what I mean? Perimeter throws. Solomona, Milo. What do you think about our first game win or loss? Oh no, I think it's a win. I don't. The Patriots are completely off the rails. You got to understand they had all those years, a decade plus of cheating and lying and stealing to win. And now everything that was involved with that, aside from their offensive coordinator, who was our former head coach, Nitwit Kampoop, is going to be running things over there. So he's going to want to get a win against us. I don't see it. But he's going to attack us. Don't get me wrong. They're going to throw the ball and throw it a lot. They're going to throw the ball and throw it a lot. So just get ready. It's going to be frustrating because they're going to throw the ball. They're going to throw and throw a lot. But I really do think we're going to have something for them. You got to remember, Pete Carroll plays poker. He's not going to just show up to the table and say, hey, here's what I got. He's going to hold that hand back. And when we start this season, I think that on a scale of 1 to 10, he almost wants everyone to think that we're a 6 or a 7. And in reality, in his mind, we're an 8 that can sometimes be a 9. And it's just going to be about that defensive secondary. If he can get those kids to play good football, we can have a hell of a season. Why did we go for Dallas's linebacker instead of Green Bay getting him? Well, Gabriel, I don't think it's that we didn't go after him. I just think that Green Bay was willing to make a deal that we weren't. That's it. And then that late in the season to go get that guy, I don't know if maybe Pete Carroll just saw that as I would have to flip too many things that I've already done. The plan of what I'm building is already here. And now I'd have to flip all that to get that guy in here. That's the only explanation I can give you, because I can't understand it under any other circumstances. Trey Hendrickson or Micah Parsons, we should have fired the nuclear missile. Go after it, no matter what it takes. One of those guys is in a Raider uniform. I'm very, very, as the host of this show, disappointed that we couldn't even get a sniff out of either of those guys. It's not that they didn't talk to us. It's not that they didn't take us seriously. But in the end, it felt like they were using us for leverage again, and especially in the Hendrickson situation. But with Micah, I think Green Bay just paid more. I just think they were willing to pay more. Jerry Jones may be senile, Jesse Parker, but he's still in charge. You cannot make a decision like that. Okay, so everyone's straight up feelings on our record this year, wins and losses. Well, Vicky, the problem with that is that Raider fans are a little bit jaded at the idea of just jumping on board with Pete Carroll, because we've done it with so many coaches in the past. What are we now? We're at 22 seasons with only 2 playoff appearances. in the last 22 seasons. Let that math wash over you for a second. In our last 22 seasons, we've been to 2 playoff games. So I understand when Raider fans are extremely hesitant to get on board with any sort of rebuild of any kind. And we're in the middle of, another one right after Josh McDaniels, who was a rebuild, and then AP that was a rebuild. And now the rebuilder of rebuilders, Pete Carroll. My only concerns are a lot. I think we're a lot better. I do. I think we're a lot better, but I just also think there are some places where, even though we got better at some places, we might not be quite as good as we need. I mean, wide receiver worries me a lot, because guys get hurt. You're already thin there, and now what happens when guys get hurt? We're going to have to bring in people off the street, that we let off the waiver wire or whatever, We'll see. We're on the same page. 9 to 10 wins is what I see as worst case. We sure could do better. Joe, I promise on tomorrow night's show, I will put up the season. I will look at the teams, and we will break it down one by one, wins and losses, where I see us going with the season moving forward. I think I can do that now because we're right at the threshold of the season starting, and I can look at the season, look at the roster, and put this all together now. So because we've done the 53 cut man cut down, because we have the season in front of us and who we're playing home and away, I will put those 2 things together, and I will give you a definitive wins and losses record for this upcoming season. Hey, Joseph, did you go see the Raiders versus the Cardinals since you now live in Arizona? Edgar Lucky De Leon, I'm not going to make excuses to you. I did not. I have stuff going on in my family right now that it kind of keeps me from doing that sort of stuff. I wasn't even able to make it out to Cactus Jack's, and that's the bar that a lot of Raider Nation and TNBC crew, they hang out at. And I haven't been able to get out. It's been too crazy. I'd like to say, with all honesty, for me, I'd say we have 8 to 9 wins. Vic, again, that would be modest, but that would also be totally acceptable. When you would consider that would be doubling our win total from last year. It's only Pete Carroll's first year at the helm of being the head coach. And more importantly, he hasn't had a chance to really install everything that he wants to install to build this team in his image and make a run. That's why I was kind of skeptical when I saw that we only gave him a 2-year deal. They're expecting him to do this rebuild and then in year 2 win immediately to justify the Raiders then giving him an extension 3rd or 4th season, or 2 more years, so to speak. I did hear about Micah Parsons dealing with a back injury. I don't think that's a reason not to look at him, though, Jesse Parker. Mrs. Shaw! And Steven, of course. I agree. I would love to see a better record, but I have a deep gut feeling that it's going to be 8 and 9. I would flip that. I'd say 9 and 8 would be worst case scenario. Somewhere in there. John, what's up, brother? Welcome to the show. I didn't think you were going to make it. All the way from the land of whiskey and crumpets from an ocean away, Eddie Blair. Appreciate the love, brother. Always good to see my British presence. Captain Pete will get us to the playoffs. Jesse, I'm on board. I'm just tentative like some of the other Raider Nation fans, but I'm not tentative when I say I lean more toward Pete Carroll having a hell of a year with us than I do to him having a losing one. I don't see that. Pete Carroll is a perennial I win 10 games a season guy. He's used to that now, and he's going to want to see that again, and I think he could. Absolutely, Bear. I want to be positive and realistic. I definitely trust in Pete. I'm more on the positive side. Totally agree. If Gino can get 9 or 10 wins with the worst O-line, 50 sacks, bad coaching, and no offensive weapons, I feel like he can thrive this year. Raider Knight, what's up, brother? Welcome to the show. I want to address each one of those. Okay, first you said with the worst offensive line. I don't agree with that. Let me kind of go back here and look at what I'm talking about. Okay, now let me go back here because I have it in front of me right now. Okay, so at left tackle you have Colton Miller coming off of an injury, but now he's solid. He's ready to go. Charles Grant, the highly sought after draft pick that many teams had high on their board as an offensive lineman pick. We got him. Then you've got Dylan Parham at left guard coming back, experienced, working with Colt Miller. We have depth there because Caleb Rogers, the other draft pick we brought in, who also was on 7 or 8 teams as one of the better offensive linemen that they would draft if he was still on the board. We got him. Charles Grant, Caleb Rogers, 2 extremely highly sought after offensive linemen. We got them both. Jordan Meredith at center. Now, with Will Putnam backing him up. Now, there I agree with you because, one, Jordan Meredith, although he's very good and he's already shown that he can handle this, he hasn't done it under fire yet. And he has never snapped a football in an NFL game. So, see, when I hear people say, oh, we're light at wide receiver, oh, our defense, blah, blah, blah. Okay, did you hear that our center snapping the ball has never snapped a ball in the NFL ever? Not once? It's kind of big. You know what I mean? I mean, that's kind of big. So I'm worried about that, but you know what? I'm just going to stick with I'm worried about that. I'm not going to add a but. I am just worried about it. Okay, and then at right guard, we have Jackson Powers Johnson with Alex Kappa backing him up. Alex Kappa just barely made the team, okay, as the backup. And he made it because he's one of the few guys that can call out line protections if they need someone as an extra center or an extra right guard. But Jackson Powers Johnson has been struggling to keep his job. He's extremely physical and strong, and he plays that way. But there's just a lot of technique things at this level that he still has to learn. DJ Glaze, I love DJ Glaze. And then Stone Forsythe is a backup guy, 6'8", 310 pounds. He comes in, he's going into his 5th year now. He was with Seattle with Pete Carroll. So you have a backup there that I thought Stone Forsythe could start. I watched him. I thought he was great. So bringing him in just makes a little bit more of a battle and depth at right tackle. So as far as our offensive line goes, to me, the only real glaring huge problem is at center. Colton Miller's solid. Dylan Parham solid. Jackson Powers Johnson, now with less responsibilities, just play good offensive line. He'll do that at right guard. So he's going to be nice. DJ Glaze has already shown he's a good right tackle. And then you got Charles Grant, Caleb Rogers, Will Putnam, Alex Kappa, and Stone Forsythe backing them all up. I'm sorry, I like it. And then we know Brock Bowers and Michael Mayer are both good blocking tight ends. So it's not the offensive line. That's just not my biggest concern. 50 sacks, that's not going to happen. Bad coaching and no offensive weapons. I don't think we have bad coaching. I do like Pete Carroll a lot. And as far as the offensive weapons, going back to the list, Brock Bowers, Jacoby Myers, Ashton Genty, Zamir White. I like what we're doing. Zamir White looked hungry. He looked like a guy that knew that he could be losing his job, and he fought his way back into the number 2 position ahead of Raheem Mostert, who a lot of people felt like Raheem Mostert looked better than him, had a little bit more tools than him, and he just took the job right back. Vicky Kid and Karina True. Hello. Appreciate the love. Appreciate the love on the stars. Love you, girl. Oh, wow. And we got my guy, Winchy. What's up, brother? Welcome to the show. Always there for Raider Bear. Edward, do you know I'm on Patreon now? Look me up, bruh. I know you were one of the guys that was saying that to me. You didn't like, giving to my page because you didn't want Facebook getting money and taking percentages from me. On Patreon now. Let's see here. Next question. Mark Vargas has us 10-7. I like that. You saw Niner Beto today? I'm sorry to hear that, Vicky. Was it hard on your eyes? He's always wearing all that red. It's just, ugh. Now, he's a great guy, isn't he? I knew Geno Smith was a Raider for real when he came out flipping off the Seahawks fans. A lot of people really took that out of context. It really, really was annoying. The replay, the news, all the other teams that said it was classless and Geno needs to grow up and be a leader and all that. It was actually Max who was ahead of him trying to tear a sign out of a fan's hands that said something really disrespectful about Geno Smith. And then Geno Smith coming out and seeing it gave him the double bird salute. So I had no problem with it whatsoever. Well, Edward, remember in 2022 and 2023, Geno Smith had winning seasons, played really well. Okay, I meant last year when Geno was on the Seahawks. He will have a much better year this year. Yes, Raider Knight, his previous season, 2024, was an anomaly because you had 2022, great football. 2023, great football. Then he fell off in 2024. Well, what was happening? He knew a new regime was coming in. He probably was going to lose his job. He knew his coach was probably leaving. And then when he did, he followed him to us. What could be better than that? Ramon Gallegos, what's up, brother? Welcome to the show. What's up there? I hope our defense can be at least in the top 15. I think we'll be in the top 15. I just don't think we'll start that way. In other words, we will start at some number. I don't know what that'll be, but by mid-year, we should be somewhere around that 15, 18. I'll even go lower than 15. I would say we could be around 14 to 16, somewhere in that range. That's sort of the same thing you said. Given one percentage up or down. I'm so brilliant. Ramon, always with the clean hats. I appreciate the love, brother. If something is going to take Geno down, it'll be his health. I think our O-line will surprise a lot of people this year. Now, that's a Raider fan who's paying attention to what's happening. I'm telling you, our offensive line's getting better, guys. It really is. It's going to gel throughout the season. All we need is Jordan Meredith to play well. If Jordan Meredith plays well, all bets are off. If Jordan Meredith struggles, could be a long season. I think y'all misunderstood Raider Knight's comment. I think he was saying that Geno had a bad line, bad coaching, and iffy weapons at Seattle last year and still got 10 wins. Okay, Joe, you are right. I was misunderstanding what he was saying. I appreciate that. And Raider Knight, much love to you. I appreciate that. I apologize. I misunderstood your comment there. I swear I'm normally much better than this. Putting foots in me. I normally put foots in everyone else, but putting foots in myself for missing that one. Sean Scott, Patreon is a way to contribute funds to podcasters and websites that you like that's not affiliated with TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, or anything like that. So that way, the person that you're viewing, that you want them to get more of what you're paying them, there's no percentage that I would have to give up to Facebook and so on and so forth. Yeah, Beto's podcast is good. I mean, you know, I gotta get his energy level up though. I'm always playing with Winchy. What are you talking about? No, Winchy's a good dude. Anybody that sends me to dinner on my wedding anniversary without being asked is a good dude, bar none. Appreciate that, Edward. Never forgotten that. Now, we're almost at the end of the show, but I'm going to go ahead and touch on this too. So they still have Max Crosby, obviously a defensive end. That's no surprise here. But they have as his backup, Tyree Wilson. Didn't we just get done watching a preseason where we only had Tyree Wilson almost primarily a defensive tackle, and he was getting pressures on quarterbacks. He was getting tackles. He looked like a new man. And now they're talking about moving him back to depth at tight end. I don't know if I understand that decision. Okay, and then after that, at defensive tackle, Thomas Booker. That's the young man that we brought in from the world champion Eagles. He will be backed up by Jonah Lalau and JJ Pegas. The other defensive tackle position, Adam Butler, who will be backed up by Lecky Fotu and Tonka Hemingway. I think Tonka Hemingway, when he gets opportunities, when those guys need air, Tonka Hemingway is going to be great. Defensive end, opposite side of Max Crosby, Malcolm Kuntz with Charles Snowden backing him up. I don't like Malcolm Kuntz. I don't like Charles Snowden. I literally hate that they did nothing on that side of the field. It literally makes no sense. You're leaving Max Crosby on a line by himself on the opposite edge with everyone in the NFL knowing how good he is. You know they're going to double and triple team him on virtually every play, and you don't do anything but bring back a Malcolm Kuntz who missed an entire season because of an Achilles tear and wasn't any good before the Achilles tear. But now we want him to come out and start after the Achilles tear. And his backup is some guy named Snowden. And don't get me wrong, I know Snowden. He's not bad, but he's not going to solve any problems for us. I don't understand it. I mean, they brought in Brennan Jackson, but they have him at outside linebacker backing up Devin White. Explain that to me. Outside linebacker Jermaine Pratt with Jamal Adams there. Cornerback Darnay Holmes and Caillou Blue Kelly. It's not going to start that way. It'll be Eric Stokes and probably Caillou Blue Kelly. I don't know why they had Darnay Holmes there. I don't know if Darnay Holmes is going to be the starter opposite Eric. He might be. You never know. Then you got Darian Porter and Dekamarion Richardson. Isaiah Polamau, who has made a massive jump in his mental IQ, his football IQ on Isaiah Polamau has made a huge jump. And he's being backed up by Chris Smith, the kid we brought in from Georgia. I love Chris Smith. He's been with us now for 2 or 3 years. I'm looking forward to him getting snaps. And then, of course, at strong safety, Jeremy Chin with the guy, again, another person we brought in from the world champion Eagles. And by the way, I love that. Bring in as many Eagles as you can. I love bringing in guys who come through the door with a cocky attitude, wearing a new ring, and saying, I'm here to get more. And if you guys aren't, get on board now, because I'm about winning. A guy like that can walk right through the door and say, let's go get one. It's been too long. And I'd really like to see that. I'm super worried about the whole Malcolm Kuntz thing, though. I hate the Malcolm Kuntz thing. It's driving me literally crazy. I'm not going to hang up on you. Are we playing a 3-4 or a 4-3? Actually, it's going to be at times a 3-4, but primarily we're going to be in a 4-3. But there's going to be times where they're going to shift out of that. Think of it like nickel coverages and dimes. They're going to pull that extra lineman off the field and add either a defensive back or linebacker. Again, I know you know that already. I'm just saying it out loud. But it's probably going to be a 4-3 more than a 3-4. Steven and Mrs. Shaw and Vicky. Yeah. Appreciate the love on the stars, fam. Yeah, they already are leaving Max alone. The move they made that they tried to do on the sneaky that they thought could, that could actually help was bringing in Brennan Jackson. Brennan Jackson, although they have him listed as an outside linebacker, he can put his hand in the ground and play defensive end. And I also happen to know from some conversation I had with another analyst that watches and follows the Raiders was that Jamal Adams is going to be used off the edge a lot, where they're just going to drop him down at the last second from the right or the left side on a given formation, and they're going to tell him, go get the quarterback. Corinna Trujillo, it's always my pleasure, love. Stephen Shaw, I appreciate the love, brother. Always there for R8RBEAR. Levon Chason was very nice for us. Tanamoku, I didn't understand that. He was already cheap. I think maybe he may have wanted a new deal, but if he didn't want a new deal and we just didn't keep him just because we wanted to get better than him, that might have been a mistake. I liked him. His motor was all the time, lean, tough. I liked him a lot too, to be honest with you. That to me felt like a move that we shouldn't have made. But at the same time, I've been talking about all this offseason, the fact that this is going to be the first time in a long time where we have roster cuts that actually matter, where we're actually hurting by our roster cuts because they're all going to be guys that we happen to like a lot. You know what I mean? So I'm just very, very happy that that we had a competition level so much higher this year that guys didn't make the team that any other year probably would have for sure. So very interesting stuff. All right, that's my show. Much love. Shout out to our armed forces, Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, National Guard, Space Force, for all you do. The energy and love of this show is dedicated to your sacrifice, active and veteran. Much love. Again, consider a subscription to Raider Bear family page. However you watch me, I am on Patreon, Raider Bear family, Raider Bear. Look me up. I appreciate you all, and I'll see you tomorrow. Raider Bear family page. And for those watching, for subscribers only, tomorrow, 4 p.m. Subscribers only. Look for me. If I'm not on, it's because of an emergency, but I'm probably going to be on. Much love to you, Raider Bear family page. Shade Street, I love you, brother. Love to the Street family. Appreciate you. Vicky again, I love you, brother. Good night, Marlo. Love you guys.